So this is your super hypo, black-eyed anery, sharp albino. So this is basically 0 melanin in the snake, 0 yellows, 0 reds, and 0 pattern. What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily. And guys, we're back. And we are going into the snake room, and we're gonna be doing some monitor training. And you know what? It might not be on purpose. And you'll see what I mean when we get into that snake room, because we had a little bit of an escape. And I caused it. I left the cage open. I was gonna take a water monitor out. I forgot, I went upstairs. He got out, and I had to catch him, but sometimes your biggest mistakes become your greatest assets, and you're gonna find out all about that, as well as we're gonna be looking into a boa litter that's over a year old now and looking great. Stay tuned. All right, my little baby water monitors, they wanna come out and play. Yeah, she is. They're only we're all this well trained. Just come right out. Look at you. Where's the other one? Baskin. This one's on my head. Okay, come here. No going on my head. No going on my head. They're all wet because they love to go in that. They love to play in the water bowl there, or I should say the basking area, or whatever you want to call it, the play dish. What are you doing? What are you doing? So affectionate. I mean, these guys just let you do whatever you want. This one more so than the other one, actually. The other one is not as playful. Okay. You having fun? You having fun? I'm just trying to eat my ring. Trying to eat my ring? Ow. No eating the ring. Okay, get in there. There's our Granite Zebra, carpet python. Probably give him a nice big rat. He's actually getting a little too fat, I think. We're gonna have to put him on a diet. He's eating too frequently. And I don't even know if I'm gonna even breed him to shit or anything. We just love this guy. He's beautiful. One of the nicest looking carpet python morphs, I think, is the Granite. The Granite Zebras are really even nicer, to be honest with you. He's just chilling. It is naturalistic looking, aside from the plastic hide box enclosure here. What's up, big boy? You want to play? Good boy. You have tongue flicking, that's good. That's good. We love the tongue flickings. We love the flicks. We don't like the air puffing. We like the tongue flicks. Beautiful little boy. Well, I think it's safe to say that our Roswell Laddertail Motley IMG double het red dragon will not be having any babies anytime soon. That's a nice big shed she's been eating. It's a shame because we saw a lot of locks with her with the red dragon this past season, and it stinks that we're not going to get anything, but that's the way it goes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. We'll go next year with her, that's all. I think maybe she just wasn't old enough, yeah, or maybe big enough, I don't know. Kind of slow, I really slow grew her, and I just think she never got to the right size, honestly, so. we'll feed her up this summer, and we'll try to pair her up again next year, or at the end of the season, I should say. All right, Pablo and I are on the floor here because I left open the water monitor cage. I was going to take out my mail. I even filmed, and I walked away, and I forgot. So now he's he's out for a little jaunt. All right, he'll come out. Let's let him come out. Come here, big boy. Maybe we'll find the other snake that's missing while we're in here. Here he comes. Got him. Got him. All right, guys, I got him. We got him. He was underneath. Pablo chased him out. I caught him. He wasn't happy at first, but actually, I really think that he likes coming out. I think that our technique with this, I don't know, maybe it's albinos, of just waiting for them to kind of come out onto my hand. I don't think it's going to happen. Like with the new ones we got, they just crawl right onto my hand. These guys will not do that, but they do let me rub them. I really think that they want to come out. I think I'm going to have to just go in there, grab them, and take them out and calm them down once they're out, because he's fine now. And you know, he's not biting. He was blowing some air when we first got him out, but he's completely calmed down, as you can see now. I mean, he's about as chill as possible. It was my fault. I left the cage open, but he did come out on his own. He wanted to go exploring on his own. That's the only problem. We can't let you do that, right? Once you're a little bigger, if you want to walk around and follow us around and help Pablo clean, that's cool. But it's weird because he just will not come out on his own. He gets scared when I open the cage. Like, he'll let me pet him a little bit, but he really does want to come out because I've taken him out before, you know. And you have to just kind of get in there, grab him, and if he gets a little upset, all right, well, wait till he calms down, and then you can walk around and hold him. I could probably walk around with him for the next 20 minutes. If I didn't have to record a TV show, I would just keep him out right now, because look at him. He's wrapped around my hand, my arm, holding on. Yes, I'm a little shredded up from the claws, because this is why you really should wear gloves when you have water monitors out, because now I'm going to be paying the price for the next, like, couple days with cuts on my fingers and my wrists. But it's hot in here, and I started not using gloves because I wanted to be able to smell, you know, to smell my hands and everything. But you could see, I could touch his head, I can touch underneath. He's not scared. So I guess all the training that Pablo and I've been doing, Pablo's been doing the tongue feeding, I've been doing just constant petting. Pablo does it during the day too. So he obviously is trained, because he would not otherwise allow me to be holding him like this, and he's holding on like he's enjoying what he's doing here. So I guess we did train him, Pab. We just didn't know that we had to actually physically get him out of the cage. He is not going to come out on his own. That's just the way he is. And I think the female's the same. I think she's also, if I got her out, I think she would be maybe not this well behaved, but he took one bite at me when I first lifted him off the floor because he was mad, but he just went like this. He kind of just gave me like a leave me alone. Didn't break skin, didn't even hurt me. So he just opened his mouth on me, and I don't think, I think he's pretty tame, this guy.
Now he probably won't want to go in.
No, he is. Now he's not going. Of course he's not going to want to go in. But I got to do a TV show. I'm late. So my bad, my mistake turned into actually something we learned about water monitor behavior, at least for this guy. And I don't think I'm going to get it. He's kind of sunk his claws into my flesh about a half an inch, so I don't know if I'm going to get him off my he's going to have to come off on his own. He's like, no, that's all right. I'm not going back in. I'm having a good time right now. And sorry, you wanted to hold me? Now you got me. So, water monitor 202. It was 101 before. Now we're at 202. All right. This is a possible super hypo, sharp albino. It's het for RDR, Ralph Davis Reptile Black Eyed Anery. You've seen this litter before. I'm trying to confuse you, but this is my Phantom Blizzard litter. Except I didn't hit the Phantom or Blizzard with this guy because this girl, she is het for RDR. She's not visual RDR, but she's so beautiful. I wanted to show her to you. I mean, look at that pattern. Look at the crazy, weird shapes. She's got some saddles going bow tie wise, then she's got some saddles going the opposite direction, and this looks super hypo to me, and we can only call it possible super hypo because we have to breed her out to prove it, but to me it looks super hypo. She's obviously, so she would be considered a super sharp sun glow. that's het RDR. I think I'm going to make her available. If anyone's interested, let me know. She's a 22, so she's from last year. She's about a year and a half old now. Gorgeous, gorgeous girl. Now, here's the Phantom, the visual Phantom. This is a possible super hypo, actually. I'm pretty sure it's a hypo because of the reduced pattern on the dorsal type of situation going on there. So the Phantom is obviously the Ralph Davis Reptile Black Eyed Anery version of a Paradigm. So Paradigm being one copy of Sharp Albino, one copy of Boa Woman Caramel T Positive Albino. You make this Paradigm, which is like kind of a creamy looking albino. You take away the reds and yellows with the Black Eyed Anery gene, and you get this like ghost-like or phantom-like looking snake with black eyes. It's crazy because the Paradigm version of this has got black eyes, but the Blizzard, which is the pure albino version of this, is got red eyes. And of course we probably have at least one copy of Hypogene. We may have two copies here. I'm not really sure, but this is another little girl. She's potentially a holdback of mine. She's potentially for sale. You never know. If you make me an offer, I can't refuse. Yeah, but she's gorgeous, this girl. Look at that head. Look at the pattern. Look at the purples. The purples just keep getting more and more purple too as she gets older. Love her, love her, love her, love her. All right, now here's a male version of what I kind of just showed you, but he's not, he might not even be hypo. He's definitely Phantom though, so he's a Paradigm. He's Ralph Davis Reptile Black Eyed Anery, so that we remove the yellows and the reds. And he might be one copy of Hypogene, but possibly neither. Now, if you look, his lower part of his body, he's got like a lot of whites in him, but the top part is a little darker, so that you can see the discrepancy between the top and lower. So it's like almost like a delineated border. Now, the interesting thing about him is for some reason, he came out with one eye. Let me see if I can show that, yeah. And which is kind of weird because number one, Sharp Albino doesn't really, that's a trait that usually you see kind of in Call Albino. I don't know if it was just damaged when he was born. I mean, it looks normal, but it's not. He's definitely missing an eye. That's the eye that's missing. And he's perfect in every other sense. He eats great. Beautiful little snake. He's got the same genes as the last little girl I showed you, except probably just not as much. I think he's missing either one or two copies of the Hypogene. But he is a Phantom. And let's see if we can lift him up a little bit without him biting me. Black Eyed Anery gene, they get a little spunky, those, especially when they're younger. When they get older, they calm down a little bit, but you see the bottom, look how the underneath of him is so white. Really nice. Really, really good snake. If anyone's interested, you'll definitely get the one-eye discount, so let me know. Or I'll keep him, I don't care. He's perfect. Beautiful. All right, here's another really beautiful albino, possible. It's also super hypo. This is Sharp Albino, and it's het for RDR Black Eyed Anery. You know what, is this one missing an eye too? Oh, well, I think so. Let's see this. Yeah, this one's got one eye. Look at that. The only Sharp Albino litter I've ever produced. I had two babies with eyes missing. This is a male too. Interesting. You don't see that much with Sharp Albino. Call albinos, you can see. Sometimes you'll get them born. A lot of people don't talk about this, but for some reason with the call albino gene, sometimes you have snakes that will have like, it's almost like a detached retina. It's not really like a, it's not missing an eye. They're born with two eyes. It's just one of them like kind of like falls off, or it's weak. But it's only one eye usually that does that. And they're good eaters and they're good breeders, and I haven't seen it passed on from generation to generation at all, but I'm sure it's definitely got to be in the genes, in that albino gene. I haven't seen it in Sharp, but you never know. You know, a lot of people don't realize a lot of Sharp albino stuff, even though it's not compatible with Call, there is Call in the Sharp line. So this snake could potentially be visual Call and visual Sharp, because they were mixed together when they originally came out. You know, people were breeding the two together. So There's a lot of, and we've heard a lot of talk. Jeff Ronnie has talked a lot about this, that he feels that a lot of the albinos out there are double albinos. Essentially, they have both sharp and call in them, and so that, you know, that could possibly account for why this could be like a 2-gene or a double homozygous of the albino gene. So you never know, but pretty interesting. I like to talk about these things because I like any weird abnormalities. I'm really interested by genetics and variability and stuff like that. And so these snakes, as far as I've, you know, every snake I've ever produced that had one eye, and there hasn't been that many of them, you know, a couple in the call litters here and there, they always seem to eat really well and breed and do everything normal. So I usually sell a lot of them because I usually will sell them for like half price a lot of times, and people want them as pets, and then they wind up breeding them and they tell me, you know what, they got no babies with one eye. They're all normal. So I have to believe it. Maybe it's just a weakness in the way the eye is attached, and sometimes in the birthing canal they can get damaged. Not sure. This is a beautiful little girl here. This is another phantom. This is more than likely, if I had a guess, of all the ones I produced, this is probably the super hypo phantom, because almost all her pattern is erased. When you see pattern erased, that's usually the hypo gene at work. And when you have 2 copies of it, you can usually erase almost all the patterns sometimes, especially when you have black-eyed anery in here, and sharp, oh, there's a little spunky today, and sharp albino. So she's very, very, very light. She still has the purple colors because she is, that, like I said, the hypo phantom or super hyper phantom, and she doesn't want to be bothered. I love them. All right, there's I showed you the phantoms. I guess I got to show you the blizzard too. And this is from the same litter. So this is your super hypo, black-eyed anery, sharp albino. So this is basically 0 melanin in the snake, 0 yellows, 0 reds, and 0 pattern, probably because of the super hypo. So you get this really jet white snake, another one with a really nasty attitude. No, spunky attitude, I call it. But look, 0, just white it out. This is, I think in boa breeding, as far as boas go, and I've bred a lot of boas, I think this is the whitest snake you can make, because the super fire diamond, I just, you know, that we've seen before in my collection, has black eyes and has some black pigment spots on it. I don't know why it has that. You would think a leucistic wouldn't have that, but it does. This combination here, the super hypo, sharp albino, black-eyed anery, is devoid of anything. It has no pattern, it has no pigment, and it has red eyes. And we call that the super hypo blizzard. So pretty cool, right? Doesn't get much nicer than that. It's a beautiful snake. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. Hopefully you enjoyed all that monitor stuff, and it's amazing. You know, sometimes when you put the work in month after month after month, you don't even realize that you have created a situation where you've actually tamed down an animal and you just don't know it yet. And sometimes they're just a little hesitant to come out of the cage. It seems like this water monitor likes to stay in the cage, or gets a little scared or cage defensive, but once I pull him out, he calms down. And so I had to find this out by letting him escape and then capturing him, and now he's my best friend. So at least that's one down. Now with the female we're still working with, obviously she's a little bit more timid. I could pet her inside her cage, but she gets a little rattled. I haven't actually grabbed her and taken her out yet. I don't know if she's ready for that. They do have really sharp claws. I don't think either one of these guys will ever bite me. They're not biters. They're like they might give you a little mouth, like leave me alone, but they're not really biters. I think they're more scared than anything. They kind of know who I am. They know who Pablo is because we're with them every single day. But they're just not, I don't think they've really gotten that trust yet. They're still a little suspicious. And you know what? They're smart if they are, because they don't know us from a hole in the wall, right? We're just this big, as Mike Stefani would say, this big monkey who gives them food. That's all. All right. I hope you also like the boa litter. Obviously, it's time. I usually wait about a year. It's better to be almost a year and a couple months now. So some of these babies are going to go up for sale. If you liked anything you saw, even the ones that had one eye. If you want to, I usually do discounts on those, sometimes half price. So if you're interested, reach out to me. They're all super healthy, eating great, and looking awesome. So just let me know before I put them up on Morph Market so you can get first dibs. All right, as you do every single day, you show me the love. You hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, hit that like button. I'll see you back tomorrow morning.